Hello and welcome back to 2048. I've not thought of a good topic to think about yet. And also, I've not yet saved, so let's just do that now before things get even more awkward. Sorry about this. It has to be done. Just being a responsible hacker. And we're back in. Okay, so perhaps old man would like to have a say in what I do for today's story. Yes, the story. Well, I won't let you. How does that feel? Anyway, however you feel about that.
I just told you, man. Can't you hear groans?
Yes, I hear them. However, they mean nothing to me. I have no emotion. Okay, I do. I definitely do. There's no question about that. Whoa! Stuff just happened. Stuff that could have been bad because I wasn't watching it. But stuff that wasn't bad, I don't think. Necessarily bad, that is. The story, yes, the story. Or perhaps the conversation point. Whatever it is, let's get it on. Okay, Whoops. That was unfortunate. And unexpected. Hold on. I think I already copied it, but, just to be sure. Actually, it saves the, when I copy it, it copies the file in its original position, so, yes, I did have to copy it again. There we go. Alright, back in it. Back at it. Let's make this full screen. So it's back centered again. Okay, once more into the breach. Now we can see how this game was before something happened in it. I don't even know what that something was, but something happened. There was a bunch of moving around down here. I don't really know what happened. But anyway, okay, that's what happened. The 128 was formed. And in the process, we got this in the place it should not be. Okay, it's all coming back to me now. Yes, the story. I'm so sorry. I'm going to say something. Instead, I just keep talking about the fact that I'm going to talk about something. All right, well, first, an introduction to why I'm doing a story. Or at least to say that I do in fact have experience with such matters as telling stories. For you see, in episode, I don't know, probably around 250 or more of Lumosity, I begin telling stories because I finally ran out of other things to talk about as they relate to the games. So, I have some experience with that, and I'm going to tell you stories that I've not told you there, so I won't spoil the stories there, which will be seen by you perhaps in some time, depending on when you're seeing this video. Okay? 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 Okay. I think that's worth it. I don't know. It moves it off of its ideal position at the price of, well, that's a price, but at the reward of getting this in here to 256. It'll just have to do. Yes, anyway, the story. Goodness gracious, I need to tell it. But first, I need to think of it. Okay, what would be good for this first story? See, whenever I begin something new, I'm all like,
I don't want to start this new thing. What if something bad happens? Hey! Why are you using me for your thinking voice here? You don't think in my voice. You never do me the dignity to have me think for you.
dignity of thinking for someone that you have self-professed yourself to hate? Old man, there's some serious falsity in your logic. Anyway, this would be a good time to save for no reason at all. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to think of a good story for you. Alright, have you heard the story of the frog and the princess? The Frog Prince? Have you heard that story? I have too. However, I don't know how it goes at all, so we're not doing that story. Have you heard the story of Aladdin? Is that from the Arabian Nights? Is it? I think it is. Well, I have heard of it. I know nothing of it. I did see a Disney adaptation once, but that was once, and that time is not now, so I don't remember. Yeah, okay. Why don't I just stop procrastinating and tell you something I do know? Alright, well, that was an amazing idea myself. It's almost like I'm me or something. Coming up with these ideas. It's amazing. Sorry, moving along. I'm just gonna say that for the whole episode. It's gonna be over before I realize it. Alright, Ray Bradbury. He is my favorite author. I can always think of something by him. Always. Except for right now. Just a break here. Close my eyes. Thinking. Alright, that's it. Another author. Harlan Ellison. I don't know why I remember this story and not the Ray Bradbury story, but I did, so get over it. Alright, so once upon a time, long in the future, there's this guy. But first of all, perhaps I should tell you what the story is, the title and all. Alright, I'm not going to tell it all like it is, actually. I'm simply going to take the plot, give it a little butchering, and then present it for your amusement, perhaps. An entertainment, at the very least. It is... oh, gosh. It is not oh, gosh. It is... Repent, Harlequin, said the Ticktock Man. So once upon a time, there's this guy. His name is Harlequin. Except his name is not Harlequin. But it does not matter what his name is, for it is not his name that matters to anyone, but his ideas, his ideals, and his timeliness of his ideas. Or rather, the time from which they come, which is a long time ago. Perhaps these times, and perhaps these times before these times. These times that were disappearing when Harlan Ellison first wrote this story. For these are the times when time is something that people always complain about losing, and yet are able to waste a bit of it to enjoy life. These are the times of which he speaks of I speak. These are the times he reminisces about. These are the times he convinces people, or at least attempts to convince, that they would love to live again, if given half a choice, half a chance. This is what the man professes. And in those words, I have spoken more than the entire story, for it is short. In fact, that would be an entire paragraph, of which there are only a couple. A few. A few is more a couple, right? But, the society, in case you haven't figured it out, this is a society of dystopianism. It's a society not to be emulated, a society to be gawked upon by gawkers. People such as yourself, who are listening to a story, just picking apart it, using your time to see all that is wrong with it, and there is much wrong with it, the way I tell it. That is... Okay, I just forgot what my train of thought was there. Anyway, the society. So, time. The final frontier. Oh, sorry, something else. Time. Time is scarce, as we all know. And so, once upon a time, this society decided. Actually, it was probably not a once upon a time thing. It was probably gradual. But however dual it was, it eventually graduated into a state of which it in this story now inhabits. A state so hideous, so heinous, and yet so seemingly natural to these people, for they have lived in it a long time. How this guy has all this stuff, now these old ideals, no one knows. However, he also sprinkled some jelly beans at some point in the story, so perhaps he's a time traveler from, well, the past. Got these jelly beans, which are known to have been extinct for a while. In fact, not even known, because they were known to have been extinct for a while longer back than this time is. And so they are gone. Notice how I'm using so much prose here in the telling of this story. So much, not prose, but the other thing, I don't know, I would say fanfare, but then that would be an incorrect word. Also, the roundabout way of explaining the Hold on, this would be a good time to save. Okay, well, whatever. However I'm speaking, using so many words, that is not how the story goes at all. How it is written. But it's how I'm speaking, perhaps for comic effect if you know the story, just to see how differently I am presenting it to you. So the time. And also, notice that in the story, and perhaps this was a stylistic choice, to further demonstrate the lack of time, the need to spend time wisely, or at least efficiently in the story. It was written to save you as much time as possible. In fact, it was written in only 6 hours by the author, though it will take me 6 hours to say it at this rate. It is a story about how society accepted that time was something that they needed more of. And so they would not, because they didn't have enough time to do what they wanted, perhaps. The irony is that they now have no time to do what they want, because that time would be wasted. That time must be used instead to keep on schedule. But it is a tight schedule indeed. A tight schedule kept by the Ticktock Man. Led by the Ticktock Man himself. Or perhaps the other guys are just grunts, and he's the Ticktock Man. Although that is not his preferred name, it is the name he is granted very so often. So very often, I meant to say there. Because he is irresponsible for keeping time moving along smoothly. And if it does not, the people who disrupted the standard flow of time, by that I'm not saying any science fiction-y stuff here, like hacking time, like making time travel. No time travel here. I'm simply saying people are going to work. People need the trams to go to work. People don't need the trams to be broken down because people are distracted by Skittles being flown upon everywhere, which are actually jelly beans, because they're actually supposed to be jelly beans. I don't know why I said Skittles. Anyway, they're just flying about because that's in the story. There are skittles, jelly beans. They're flying everywhere because this guy's disrupting everything to show people what happens when time is wasted. Now, in scenarios as this, the Ticktock Man would normally take how much time was wasted and take it off this person's time clock. If you've seen the movie In Time, you'll know exactly what I'm speaking of. Yes. Perhaps immortality has been granted to be taken off when someone wastes time. And perhaps it is more likely, because if you're immortal, you would have all the time you needed. Perhaps it is more likely then that the immortality is not possible yet. However, you have been granted a certain amount of time to live, person. To live. Or at least there's a certain amount of time which will be taken off your amount of time, which would be probably 120 years, because no one lives longer than that usually. And that's the time you'd normally die. Or maybe they wouldn't kill you, but the first offense, you're giving a time clock. And when that clock stops ticking, you're dead, bro. Fatality. And who starts that clock but the Ticktock Man? And for every time that you disrupt the standard flow, keep people from doing their work, their duties, that is time that counts against your clock. It's taken off. It's a bit closer to running out one day eventually. That is time that you'll never be able to have. Time that you're deprived of other people. That is time that is deprived of yourself. An eye for an eye. An hour for an hour. A day for a day. Or in the case of the Harlequin, a lifetime for a lifetime. For you see, in this one actor flying in his flying machine, this wonderful man in his flying machine flying over a factory, or maybe it wasn't a factory, probably a train station, and dropping billions upon billions upon billions of jelly bean, yellows, reds, greens, blues, oranges, Is there a colour that starts with ne? I said ne, but there's no colour, is there? Nyan? No, that's a bunch of colours. Okay, I'm trying to quote the story because it's highlight blues, orange, and it's just one big run-on sentence that makes an entire paragraph about this guy dropping jelly beans everywhere. So yes, there's maroons, greens, chartreuses, I don't even know. Let's just move along, shall we? I don't even remember where we are. Did I already save this thing up? Or replace the save? You know what, actually, this episode is probably over due to time constraints. So, I guess I ought to let you go and start this over next time. And for reference for myself, to help me remember where I am, let me just try to remember where I am before I stop recording this episode, because when I stop recording episodes, I tend to forget everything I was just saying. So, one final pass. What am I saying here? I am saying that he drops all these jelly beans, which wastes everyone's time, and he is now suspect number one for wasting time, being to be hunted down brutally and murdered, most murderifically, by the Ticktock Man, the man responsible for keeping everyone's time straight. You see, and the reason this was because, the guys, they're supposed to be keeping trains running smoothly so people can go to work, but of course they're distracted by all the jelly beans, eating them, watching them, staring at them, doing things totally unrelated, because other people are supposed to be doing their duties, so that they can do theirs, but they can't because those people are not doing their duties, and so they can only twiddle their thumbs. And because they're probably not even outside, I don't even see the jelly beans. But anyway, stuff happens. The trains have stopped. The people who are supposed to be getting on the trains to get to work, those people cannot. And all those people's time are wasted because the train master's time was not spent, 7 minutes. I think it was 7 minutes. There was 7 minutes staring at the jelly beans. And so 7 minutes across everyone who was supposed to get to work but could not. Those times are all lost. And all those millions of people to amount to a time that is way more than a lifetime. And maybe it's not millions, thousands, hundreds. It's a lot of time. 700 minutes is probably not enough. 7,000 minutes? Nah, it's probably millions. Okay, millions. This guy's dead if he gets caught. So he don't want to get caught, but on the other hand, he wants to spread the word. And the word is... Thanks for watching. Goodbye. It's more than one word, but I know it's, seriously though. This episode's over, so yeah. The word is goodbye.